Minister Perry Christie insisted that national health insurance implementation won't destabilize the economy. Claims surfaced that 11 Jamaican nationals were mistreated while in police custody, and the nation left reeling after the stabbing death of a 16-year-old George Johnson senior high school student. We've got those stories and others. I'm your host, Krishna Virgil, and this is the Tribune's Top 5. Despite the mountain of concerns over national health insurance implementation, the nation's leader said his administration won't do anything to destabilize the economy. The nation's leader said his administration's rollout of national health insurance won't cause job losses or destabilize the economy, as he defended his confidence in consultant Sanitors International and promised a ramping up of efforts to educate Bahamians about the proposed scheme. With just weeks before NHI's scheduled implementation, numerous questions remain, including how much the scheme will cost, how the government will secure the crucial support of the health insurance industry, and what the primary healthcare package slated to be rolled out in April will entail. As for what NHI will cost, Mr. Christie offered nothing definitive, saying only that consultant PricewaterhouseCoopers is doing a special exercise on the matter. Deputy Chief Medical Officer Delon Brennan has said the first part of primary services under NHI, scheduled to begin in April, will cost around $100 million. Mr. Christie said, quote, "In any event, the first phase we will roll out will be primary care, and we're projecting what that will cost, because you've noticed that in my budget communication I indicated we're not going to charge any rates at this stage because I wanted to ensure that people will know that they are being accommodated and know why they are being asked to pay for what. All that will come later into next year," end quote. Tall Pines MP Leslie Miller lashed out on Monday at officials from the Bahamas Crisis Center, saying the nonprofit group is filled with phonies, fakes, and frauds, as he accused the organization of remaining silent on violence against women in the aftermath of the brutal murder of a school teacher last month. Mr. Miller said it was a shame that the center was nowhere to be found and claimed that no representatives attended the funeral of 40-year-old mother of two Joelle McIntosh last week. The Queens College elementary school teacher was shot in her head and body near a traffic light at the intersection of Parkgate and Village Roads on November 11th. Mr. Miller first commented on the matter as a guest on More 94 FM's talk show, Real Talk Live. When contacted by the Tribune, he said he was extremely bothered by the absence of the Bahamas Crisis Center throughout the ordeal, adding that the organization was just for show. This led the Crisis Center to hold a press conference calling on the MP to apologize and retract his statement. Deputy Director of the Crisis Center, Donna Nichols, said it was a vile, offensive, and malicious attack on the nonprofit organization. As Mrs. Nichols spoke to reporters, she was nearly moved to tears as she defended the organization's volunteers from Mr. Miller's uninformed and vindictive comments. Mr. Miller has said he will not apologize to the Crisis Center. Local women's rights groups have urged Police Commissioner Ellison Greenslade to launch a full-fledged investigation into the arrest of 11 Jamaican nationals. Non-profit organizations Bahamas Women's Watch and the Bahamas Crisis Center urged Police Commissioner Ellison Greenslade on Tuesday to launch a probe into the arrest and detainment of 11 Jamaican women amid allegations that the group was forced to urinate on the floor of the cell where they slept on cardboard boxes. The groups believe the women were victims of misconduct by officers who allegedly discriminated against them based on their nationality. It is also alleged that the women were not allowed phone calls and were threatened while police held them for 36 hours. During a press conference, the nonprofits called on the Royal Bahamas Police Force and all state agencies, including the Department of Immigration, to cease and desist the reckless and unconstitutional practice of discrimination against Jamaicans and more broadly immigrant women, who suffer the indignity of systemic discrimination because of their nationality. The watchdog groups said the officers' alleged behavior must be investigated and condemned in the strongest manner by Commissioner Greenslade. They also are requesting an urgent meeting with the commissioner to discuss how he plans to eradicate what they say is the systemic practice of discrimination against vulnerable immigrant women within the police force. The groups are in the process of drafting a formal complaint to submit to police. Prominent attorney Wayne Munro, who recently joined the Progressive Liberal Party, has come under fire for suggesting that the country should start flogging people for committing immigration offenses. Mr. Munro, QC, said officials in this country should begin canning persons under 18 and flogging those over 18 who are caught entering the country illegally. Mr. Munro, in a recent post on Facebook, wrote that the price is too low for immigration offenses in the Bahamas, suggesting that if illegal immigrants, particularly Haitians, believed we tortured and killed them, they might not come. He later told the Tribune that while flogging people may appear to be brutal, it would effectively serve as both a physical and psychological barrier for people seeking to continuously enter the country illegally. However, his comments have garnered fiery criticisms, among them Bahamas Bar Association President Ellsworth Johnson, who blasted Mr. Munro, saying the despicable comments are diametrically opposed to the preservation of human dignity. The Grand Bahama Human Rights Association has said it was shocked and urged Mr. Munro to please rethink these comments and to find himself on the proper side of humanity. In addition, the Free National Movement has called on the PLP to respond to the comments. The party has yet to state its official position over the matter. The brutal stabbing of a 16-year-old boy has left a high school reeling and trying to come to grips with what went wrong. 16-year-old Adonai Wilson, a Doris Johnson Senior High School student, was stabbed multiple times and killed on Wednesday afternoon during an argument with several other school students shortly after school was dismissed early because of exams. The murder took place shortly after 2 p.m. on Prince Charles Drive, less than a mile from the school's campus. It was the 139th murder for the year, according to the Tribune's records. Assistant Commissioner of Police Stephen Dean said the victim was walking on Prince Charles Drive near Blanco Beach when he got into an argument with several other juveniles. The incident left students and teachers of the school confused and shaken as they tried to come to grips with the teen's murder during a special assembly for Doris Johnson seniors on Thursday. In response, Prime Minister Perry Christie said he was stunned to learn of the murder, as he suggested that the country's crime situation now requires not only a stronger police presence in the schools, but that every campus is outfitted with security equipment. Police have arrested 3 teenage boys ages 15, 16, and 17 on Thursday in connection with the stabbing. Want to get in on the discussion? Well, here's how you can. Just log on to our website at www.tribune242.com, like us on Facebook, the Tribune News Network, send us a tweet at Tribune242, or subscribe to our YouTube page, Tribune242.